Good morning. It is Saturday, February, is it the 20th? February 20th, 8:30 a.m. And I've been up for a few hours here in Emory Hospital, Johns Creek, and waiting for hip pin surgery for a broken, what do they call it? Femoral arch, I think he called it. It's basically the top of the femur where it connects to the hip in between the end of the very last little segment of the femur got broken cleanly in half, but still all the pieces intact. So he's able to treat it with just pins to pull the two parts together, and as opposed to something that's more complicated, which might require a more complicated break, like if the parts had moved or out of place. They might have to do a whole hip replacement, but they're not going to have to. And he says, I will be back up in months. I will be back to 100% doing everything I was doing before. But I'm in very good, being very well taken care of here. I'm very satisfied and happy. The nurses and the technicians are wonderful. They've got the doctors are very professional with great bedside manners, and they both saw my anesthesiologist and the surgeon saw me late yesterday evening. They came by to visit me and check on me. And basically what's going on today is at 10:30. Well, let me roll back a little bit and update you since my last video. Not really sure when that left off, but basically every 4 hours or so, the nurse comes in and she checks my vitals, blood pressure, heart rate, and temperature. They put boots on me to keep compression boots, which expand and collapse every few seconds to keep blood from pooling, or deep vein thrombosis, I think, in the lower legs, which can cause a clot. She said that's routine for people of all ages who have to be in bed for more than like 24 hours or so. I got a TV and I got a call button. Temperature in the room is very nice. They got me in this goofy gown, but that's okay. Also, yesterday evening, I had an EKG done. About a dozen probes hooked up to me, and she said it took much longer to hook me up than the actual EKG did, which only took about 20 seconds. And she said it looks perfect. So my heart looks good. I feel good. Not much pain at all. Every 4 hours or so, I have the option of taking Dilaudid, but the last one I took was 7 o'clock last night. Actually, I think it was 11 o'clock last night. She didn't update that. But anyways, every 4 hours I have the option of that, and I haven't taken it since 11 o'clock last night. Haven't needed it. As long as I'm not moving, I'm in no pain. So every 4 hours, I got a great night's sleep last night. I was worried that because I'm a little nervous about the surgery today that I wouldn't be able to get a good night's sleep, but I think I was asleep by 10:30. Right after the last dose of Dilaudid, I went to sleep. Slept until 4 a.m. when she woke me up to do my vitals. Then I kind of woke up and watched the news on TV for a couple hours, and then I fell back asleep for another hour or two until my 8 o'clock vitals, and then I've been up ever since then. My biggest complaint, though, actually, is that I have a headache. Got not a real bad headache, but an annoying headache. And the nurse says probably caffeine withdrawal, because I haven't had caffeine since since more than 18 hours, going on 20 hours now, since yesterday afternoon. I couldn't drink or eat anything after midnight last night. So that kind of brings you up to speed. Midnight last night was my last of anything to drink or eat. The food here was good. I had chicken and rice, was very nice. Didn't like the vegetables; so they were overcooked. That's the way it is often, unless you do it yourself. Haven't had breakfast yet. Well, won't have breakfast. Haven't had anything. Can't have anything to drink. She did say she could give me an ice cube or two to kind of suck on. So, anyways, up to the present time. At 10:30, I think they said they're going to roll me down to get me ready for surgery. At 11:30, I think she said surgery is scheduled for. They allot an hour or for surgery or more, but the doctor told me last night, he said routinely this only takes them about 30 to 40 minutes to do this surgery. small incision, maybe he said 1.5 to 2 inches long, and so that's 11:30 to 12:30 of surgery. After that, around 12:30, 1 o'clock or so, they roll me out of surgery and into the post-operative intensive care unit, which where I'll continue to recover. I think she said be sedated still, maybe a little bit, or maybe just coming out of the sedation. But the sedation, it is, of course, I'm going to be put under completely. Honestly, the thing I'm most nervous about this whole experience, this whole ordeal, is being put under, because I know that's not something you take lightly. It's not very risky. The occurrence of complications is very rare, but it's still there. So a little bit nervous about that, but not terribly. The anesthesiologist was very reassuring. Okay, so 12:30 to 2:30 or so, I'm in the intensive care unit down by the surgery. And then sometime, probably like around 3 o'clock or so, they roll me back up to my room. And she said I'll probably continue to be groggy for a while. And she suggested to visitors not before about 6 p.m. So prep starts at 10:30. I'll be back in my room by around 4, and visitors at 6. Not too big a deal. All very professional and well orchestrated and coordinated. I feel like I'm in good hands. But so my biggest complaints so far, none really. Got a headache, like I said, a little warm. No pain unless I move, and then my hip hurts. My fanny feels a little stuck in place, to be honest with you. I would like to be able to shift around a little more. My back's kind of sweaty and hot, but other than that, I'm very comfortable. It's very nice having this pull bar here to shift yourself around just a little bit if you need to. Although, like I said, I don't like to move, because any movement, my pain goes on a scale of 1 to 10. My pain goes from like a 2 to a 3, which it's just kind of a little bit of a pain, or maybe a dull throb. But to when I move, it goes to like an 8 or a 9. I'm not going to call it a 10, because I don't know how bad. I can only imagine how bad a 10 is on the pain scale. So I'm saying like an 8 or a 9 at the most when I move, or if I move wrong. Anyways, well, this video has been kind of longer than I expected. I hope that brings you guys up to date. I'm in great hands, and I'm feeling great. I'm not scared or worried, and I'll check in with y'all again. I don't know if I'll do another one before surgery or not. Probably not until after surgery. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.